Losing time, I'm fading fast. I just wanna make it last. Try to let go of the past. I close my eyes, embrace the blast. Sleepless nights and headache stack. Restlessness to hell and back.
In this video, we're putting the Vivo X200 Ultra up against the Vivo X300 Ultra to figure out whether the newer model is actually worth your money. A quick shout out to my tech partner from China for sharing this video. A big thank you for making this possible. Hey everyone, it's Mickey from techmaiky. If you love staying updated with the latest gadgets, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our exciting tech content. Let's kick things off with the weight. The X200 Ultra with the official soft screen protector and no lens protector comes in at 235 grams. The X300 Ultra, also fitted with the official screen protector and no lens protector, weighs 243 grams. So yeah, congratulations, it's heavier. That's your first upgrade. Now moving on from weight, let's talk about the back. Both phones use glass, but Vivo has done a pretty impressive job with the finish. It doesn't really feel like typical glass when you touch it, and that stitched design, well, it's one of those things. You'll either love it or not at all. Shifting over to the side, the buttons definitely stand out more this time. The power button is bigger and longer, which is a nice improvement. On the X200 Ultra, the buttons felt a bit loose, but here they feel tighter and more solid, which is a big step forward. The camera button, though, is gone. Some people will miss it, others won't care, so its removal is kind of neutral overall. Looking at the top, things are mostly unchanged, but the X300 Ultra is clearly thicker, noticeably thicker. On the other side, there's nothing new to mention. It's basically identical. The bottom layout is also exactly the same, no real differences there. Now let's talk about that camera module. Just look at it from this angle, it's easier to see. The X300 Ultra's module is bigger and thicker. The obvious question is, does that mean it's more powerful? Maybe, but in terms of feel, it still sticks out a lot. It's like holding a big, bulky slab, a real hot plate in the hand. Honestly, for something this large and thick, it's not the most comfortable experience. At the end of the day, how a phone feels is very subjective. Some people enjoy a big, hefty device, while others prefer something lighter and easier to handle. So if ergonomics matter to you, you should definitely try it in person. From my perspective, though, it feels heavier, thicker, and not particularly comfortable to hold. I'm just being real here as a regular user. Now let's move on to the display, which is another area that's been upgraded. I'll show you how the screens look this year. The display settings on both phones are basically the same right now. Since we'll be comparing photos later, auto brightness is turned off and all personalization features, including eye protection mode, are disabled to keep things fair. Speaking of eye protection, both phones perform pretty similarly there. Take a look at the screens and decide for yourself. If you think the X200 Ultra looks better, go with option 1. If you prefer the X300 Ultra, choose option 2. Personally, I don't think the display upgrade this year is a huge leap. The colors are still tuned for accuracy and realism, and the resolution remains sharp at 2K. One noticeable change is the design. The previous quad curved display has been replaced with a flat panel, but honestly, the rounded corners on this flat screen don't look that great. They're not even as nice as what you get on the 300 Pro. Seriously, what happened there? The bezels are slimmer compared to the last generation, but they're still not the thinnest you'll find on a flagship. So what do you prefer, quad curved or flat screens? Here's a thought. If Apple eventually brings back quad curved displays, would you stick with flat or switch back? Something to think about. As for other upgrades, the battery has been improved. The chip has also been updated to the latest Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5. And yeah, there's that V3++. Last time it was said to be integrated with the Dimensity 9500, but now it seems to be paired with the Snapdragon instead. Honestly, I'm not even sure myself, just joking. Battery capacity has gone from 6,000 milliamp hours to 6,600 milliamp hours, so that's a 600 milliamp hour increase. Not bad. Decide for yourself if that feels like a meaningful upgrade. On top of that, the speakers have been improved, delivering noticeably better sound than the X200 Ultra. The vibration feedback has also been upgraded, and it feels much more refined compared to the previous model. All right, now let's move on to the camera module. I'll give it a quick clean first, then we'll snap some photos and do a simple side-by-side comparison. Okay, all cleaned up. Take a look. Nice and spotless. There's a bit of dust here and there, which is pretty much unavoidable, but no smudges at all. Also, neither of these phones has a screen protector on the lenses right now. Honestly, I feel like the previous generation's camera design looked better. This new design, well, it is what it is. Not much we can do about it now. That said, the biggest upgrade this time is definitely the camera, especially when it comes to video. Camera interface has also been redesigned. The layout has shifted. It's now positioned differently compared to before. I was actually wondering if this new UI will eventually roll out to other models too, because if the X300 Ultra gets an exclusive camera interface and the X200 Ultra doesn't, that wouldn't feel very fair, right? Now, looking at the settings, HDR is enabled here, and you also get watermark composition in this section. On the other device, HDR isn't in the same spot, and this is where you capture the photo. The intelligent optimization feature feels a bit hidden. I think it should be easier to access. I checked through the settings and couldn't find it there either, so maybe it'll be added in a future update. Most likely. All right, let's start the comparison. We'll begin with the 14mm shot. I'm going to take a picture of this little green figure using autofocus on both phones, standing in almost the exact same position. We'll take one shot on each and compare them right away. Also, this generation introduces a color science lens, similar to Huawei's Hongfeng camera, aiming for more accurate colors. At first glance, which one do you prefer? I'm not going to say which is better or worse, because everyone sees things differently. Now let's switch to 35mm. Some people absolutely love this focal length while others don't. Let's step back a bit and take another shot. This time we've switched to food mode. Let's check the results again. Next up is 85mm. Let's grab another shot here. To be honest, even now, the X200 Ultra's camera is still very impressive. Look at the detail. Let me adjust the angle, move things around a bit, add some light, and take another photo. With that extra lighting, how do they compare? Personally, I think both have their strengths. Now I'll lower the brightness slightly to keep things fair. Moving on to 170mm, let's take another shot. Wow. Just look at that clarity, really impressive from both. Next, at 230mm, we'll capture this fur texture. And just to be clear, macro mode is still off here. The result? Interesting. It feels like the X300 Ultra tends to produce brighter images overall, probably because I'm shooting from nearly identical positions each time. All right, now let's turn on macro mode. But honestly, the macro improvements this generation are pretty minimal, almost negligible. And keep in mind, the X300 Ultra is actually more expensive than the previous model. Now let's talk about video recording. To be honest, it's a bit tricky to fully demonstrate video quality here, but I can say this, it's really good. For someone like me who isn't a pro, both phones deliver excellent camera performance overall. Video has definitely improved, no doubt about it, but the most noticeable upgrade, it's actually the filters, the shooting styles, and the color tuning. Those are the changes you'll notice immediately. So the big question is, will these filters be brought to older models as well? Because if they do, then honestly, why would you upgrade from the X200 Ultra to the X300 Ultra? Is it really necessary? For slightly better speakers, improved haptics, a bigger battery, and a slightly different feel in hand, I don't think that alone justifies upgrading. When you look at the pricing, a used X200 Ultra, especially a 1TB version, will likely cost you significantly less. Meanwhile, even a used X300 Ultra will still be more expensive, so you have to ask yourself, is it worth it? In my opinion, this phone is really for people who don't mind spending extra money for the latest model. That's pretty much it. All right, that's it for this video. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.